Good afternoon and welcome to the preview for the weekend racing. Starting to get a little bit interesting now as we get closer to carnival time in Sydney. Might actually see some decent racing from there for a change. There's a TT jackpot in New Zealand, split over the last two races at Awaperni and the last at Ellerslie. We'll have a close look at that, but there's not much in the pool, so we won't be getting too involved there. Going through all the meetings, Ascot, the Cavalieri was an interesting run first up. It trialled really well, and then he dragged it back and let it come sort of home late. Yeah, maybe midweek's better for it, but if it was 10 or 15 to 1, you'd probably have to give it some consideration at a price. Ascot race 2, number 10. The next few races don't hold too much interest. Probably the last race, Passion Cantata's in there. It's fast and weak. The only thing is the 1400, it'll get a much easier tempo. But the last 100 metres, they're going to find it out, I would think. If they were to bet 10 or 15 to 1, I might consider getting involved. But other than that, if it wins it under that, let it win. Ascot Park in New Zealand, Invercargill. There's a couple there that have been waiting for wet ground. They've got it now. Probably race 7, number 10, Avow. Now, this was a good run at Riccarton. Got a long way back and was doing its best work late. This is much easier, and the wet ground's going to help. We'll go for it. Ascot Park, race 7, number 10, Avow. We go to Awaperni. Tough meeting there. Big fields. It's one of their better days, so they've got some decent races going there. Probably getting to the last race. I think number 8, Earl of Doncaster. This was a big win last start. He's taken off a fair way out, and he sort of cruised around them and looked like he was struggling coming around the corner. And then once they straightened, just put him away. Repeats that, it'll win this. So Awaperni, race 10, number 8, Earl of Doncaster. We go to Doomben on the heavy track. Found a couple here at the end of the day that I think are ready to improve, and certainly the heavy track's going to help. In race 7, number 4, Celtic Dancer. This is third up. Goes good now, this sort of part of its preparation. It's had its couple of hit-ups, and all of a sudden gets into the heavy ground where it's 5 for 3 and 1. It's going to be a chance at a price. So they bet 14 or 15 to 1. I think it's into about 10 now. That's a fair price for it. So Doomben, race 7, number 4, Celtic Dancer. We go to Doomben 8. Back one here at a massive price. Number 1, Vicalo. It's another one. Goes good on the rain-affected going. And I just thought at 50 to 1 it was just a stupid price. So one at spec here. Doomben, race 8, number 1, Vicalo. I've saved on number 8, Doherty. This is another one. Grows a leg when we get the slow heavy. It's got that now. And I think this is going to be a big improver. It's double figures also. So bracket the two of them. Doomben race 8, 1 and 8. The Ellerslie meeting, not much of a meeting there. Don't really like too much. Although in the last race, number 14, Dalzinga. Oh, it's a bit of a butcher ride last start. Unfortunately, same jock's on it. 3 kilo claimer. She's a bit powerless. If it was double figures, I'd say okay, it's take a risk with the jock. If it's single figures, I'll let it win. Ellerslie 9, number 14, Dale Zinger. 2 at the Gold Coast, again on the rain affected going. Gold Coast race 4, number 5, Cheeky Devil. Heavy track's going to suit it. And Gold Coast race 6, number 1, Choruses. Again, the slow heavy's going to suit it. So there's 2 there. But again, price will dictate. I wouldn't be backing anything at the Gold Coast on a heavy track under 6 or 7 to 1. If they're shorter than that, let them win. Morphettville, one good race there. In race 7, number 10, Halley Rocks. Now this is coming out of the Flemington run. This is a huge drop here. Flemington to this garbage. Barrier 1 that can get up somewhere midfield. I think it just might have a chance in this race. It's double figures. That's over the odds as far as I'm concerned. I'm happy to have something on this one. Morphettville race 7, number 10, Halley Rocks. I don't like the Moonee Valley meeting. I think probably in race 6, the top weight Banker Mo, if it runs up to the first up run, it'll win. Bit of rain is handy. The good track is not ideal for it. Needs to sting out of it. I'd be waiting for a wet ground for it, so it could be a bit risky tomorrow, but it's about 5 or 6 to 1. That's sort of rock bottom price for me. I'd be wanting a bit better than that. I'd take 5 or 6 to 1 on slow, heavy ground. Don't like race 7, and race 8's not much good, Newcastle. We go to Rose Hill on the heavy track. Rose Hill race 5, number 1, Sidestep. This was a good thing beaten first up. Wasn't much of a ride. Unfortunately, he's still on it. But I think this is its race. Got a terrific chance in this. Unknown on heavy. It's never been on it. It's been on the slow. So you take a chance there. I think it or number 8, Northern Glory. Nice couple of trials this has had. I think this is Cherry Wright ready to go. I'll bracket these two. Rose Hill 5, 1 and 8. We go to Rose Hill 6. Rain Affair. Now it's finally got into a race that it's actually got some hope in. I think he's been playing ducks and drakes with this horse. He's running around on good tracks and all sorts of things. That's not its go. Its go is slow heavy. And it's finally got it. It can't run 1,300 metres. It's never been able to do it before, and it never will. This is a 1,000 and 1,100 metre horse, and that's as far as it wants to go. Barrier 5, Rod goes on it. This is going to go straight to the front. I don't think there's enough anybody can go with it, certainly not on this ground. And I'm hoping that coming to the turn, he just releases it and lets it run in the ground. And if he does that, I think this can win. They bet a good price this horse yesterday and jumped into it at around $15, $16. I think that was just stupid price. It's still double figures. I think this has got a terrific chance. This is its best chance to win another race. Won't get a better one than this. Rose Hill race 6, number 4, Rain Affair. I saved on See the World, the other good wet tracker, and it'll be charging home late. That's the stablemate. I think one of these two is going to win. So bracket Rose Hill race 6, 4 and 7. Race 7, good race. There's a fair bit of depth in this. Red Tracer, well, against the mares, unbeatable. Here, a little bit different. Boban, not sure about it on this ground. You're taking a risk with it. Sacred Falls, it's proven on this sort of surface. It's unbeaten on slow heavy. I think it goes in. El Rocker was a good run last start. Took off just a fraction early. I think it's ready to go now with the 3 kilo pull in the weights. You've got to put it in. I'll bracket 4 and 14 in race 7. I think they're the two to go for. Maybe Eurozone's an interesting one, dropping back now to the 1500. Didn't run the trip last time, so this might suit it better. And again, another one that goes terrific on Rain Effector, going 3 out of 3 on the slow. 4, 15 and 14 in race 7. Race 8, don't like this race at all. I back one at 50 to 1 purely and simply on a wet form in Melbourne. Number 13, Tupac Amaru. I backed it because of the 50s. If it had been 25, they wouldn't have touched it. So take what you like out of that. If you can get 50s, throw something each way on it if you give it some hope yourselves. Barrier 15 and McAvoy. 50s is probably rock bottom price. And race 9, I found another one in here that I'm taking a bit of a spec at purely and simply at the price. It's number 15, Quayside. I don't like the race at all, but again, it's another one that was a big price, and I was happy to jump on it. That's it for the Saturday racing. Now, I've had a look at Sha Tin for Sunday. There's unraced. Rules is out of just about everything. Pretty ordinary meeting. There's a lot of unraced horses. There's small fields. There's a couple of races with 7 and 8 runners in it, which is very strange. At this stage, possibly we might play a couple of quartets only. If we play at all, we might just wait for the big jackpot next Wednesday at the Valley. It's starting to rain there, and that's going to make it nice and interesting for Wednesday at the Valley. There's got 4 days or 5 days of rain coming now, so there'll be a bit of work involved trying to sort them out there. Not a lot of them have ever seen wet ground. So if the rain comes as they've predicted, and you can take that with a grain of salt because they're not much better there than they are in Oz with tipping the weather. Wednesday's going to be an interesting night. Good luck if you play on the weekend. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you all have some success.